Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us. It's now Monday, June 5th. Still having a hard time comprehending it's June, but June 5th already. Lisa, Lydia, Scott here, starting our Facebook Live. Of course, you can watch it live every weekday morning, but anytime on your feed after that. You can also find us on our Inform YouTube channel, and we make this into a podcast every day. You can find that at inform.com/podcast. Just look for the Inform Minute. We want to jump into our Monday morning forecast. But we could maybe just run.
More of the same.
More of the same. Kind of the same thing you were talking about last Friday when you were on. So, but
you know what to expect at this point. We have a blocking pattern going on across the country, which basically gives us the same weather day after day after day, and that's obviously playing through. Feels a little bit like Groundhog Day. Just it's the same thing over and over. I feel like a broken record. We'll warm up near 90 this afternoon. We will see some of those pop-up showers and thunderstorms develop in the heat of the day. Heavy rain, thunder, lightning. If any of those do pulse a little bit stronger, you could see some small hail or some gusty winds. Did get a decent video out of Moorhead yesterday of some of that heavy rain coming down. It's very localized though. Where that video came from, we had a report of 0.81 inches, so almost an inch, 8/10. But on the north end of town where we have an observer, he had 0.02. So
that's crazy.
In the same town, there was almost an inch difference, 0.79 inches of a difference. So you can get a lot of rain in a short while in one spot and then absolutely nothing in another. That's true for today too. We'll do that again tomorrow. Temperatures then start to cool off a little bit as we head toward the weekend, near 80. So I mean, it's not cold,
not a real cool down.
Right? But
it's cooler than we are.
Yeah, instead of being near 90 to 95 where we have been the past several days, we'll see temperatures closer to 80 this weekend. That could come though, kind of that transition can come with maybe a bigger round of thunderstorms. We'll watch it closely. Storms are tricky, they're hard to forecast. They're kind of like forecasting toddlers, I like to say. They just kind of like do whatever they want when they want, so we can try to predict it, but it's a tough one. So right now I'm looking Thursday night into Friday, maybe some rockier weather, but we'll keep you updated on that. Lots of interesting things going on with that whole like 90 streak we've seen lately. I just made a whole long Facebook post about it if you want more information. But I've gotten a lot of questions about, oh my gosh, like how long of a stretch is this? And you know, what's the record? So off the top of my head, so far we've seen 11 days in the 90s here in Fargo. Last year in all of 2022, we had 8 days in the 90s. So we've exceeded that. That's done. Yeah, we're at 11 already and it's June 5th. And all of 2022, we had 8 days in the 90s. This isn't a record yet, though. The record number of days in the 90s is from 1988, and that was 39 days. So they had 39 days that season of being in the 90s. So right now, that record is safe.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we don't achieve that. 1988 was a really bad drought year. A lot of farmers in the area know that year not in a good light. So that was really dry that year. And then as far as consecutive days in the 90s, right now we're sitting at 5 consecutive days. We had a couple of days at 89, which kind of broke up the streak, even though it wasn't like a cold day at 89 degrees, like it might as well have been in the 90s. So that's not a record either. Record is 15 days in the 90s consecutively, and that's from 1936, dirty 30s. Also not a great year. So yeah. You can dive more into that on my Facebook because it's confusing and there's a lot of numbers, but it is interesting.
Yeah, it is. Oh, because a lot of people are saying, I don't remember it being this hot this early.
Yeah.
You know, or having this many days and
it
actually,
happens. Yeah.
But
it does happen. It just hasn't for a few years. And last year was not that hot of a summer last year. So yeah.
Interesting. All right.
Okay. I'll take my numbers elsewhere.
All right.
Thanks, Lydia.
All right, well, let's jump into our news headlines. Breaking news out of Moorhead this morning. A fire broke out at the Village Green Park. Firefighters were called to the 2000 block of 30th Avenue South right around 3:30. When they got there, flames were shooting out of a building near the park's bathrooms. The building also contained a lot of the park's equipment for the wading pool. The battalion chief tells WDAY that there's around $75,000 in damage. They are still investigating, but at this point they do tell us they believe the fire started in a garbage can.
Today, more information surrounding a shooting that happened in Wahpeton over the weekend is expected to be released, and the suspect involved could be in court as soon as today. It happened just a block away from an elementary school there. 37-year-old Sean Lane is being held in the Richland County Jail right now for attempted murder and firing a gun within city limits. He is accused of shooting his cousin in the chest on Saturday. It caused an hours-long shelter-in-place order for the surrounding area. Officers had to knock down Lane's apartment door to arrest him. The police chief says that they still have no specific motive for why this happened. And WDAY is still working to learn the condition of Lane's cousin this morning, but police believe they have recovered the gun that was used in the shooting.
You probably noticed the cones going up and you're sighing and upset that it's happening, but a major road construction project is beginning today in Fargo on the tri-level, so that affects so many of us. The tri-level intersection between I-29 and I-94, the cones are up. A lot going on with this project. We talked about this a lot on First News this morning, so you really need to just follow the road signs, the cones, slow down in that area as well. What we do know is that this is phase one of the project. It's going to be focusing on some new eastbound lanes for I-94 traffic, which will cause the right shoulder to be closed between I-29 and all the way to 25th Street. Also, the right shoulder of I-29 will be closed off for the northbound ramp onto I-94 as well. So that project's going to be a mess for a little while.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. A mess for a while. Be patient. Everyone wants to get through there. We'll make it. Be safe. All right, today, part of a road in Detroit Lakes is expected to reopen after extreme heat over the weekend caused it to buckle. It happened on Highway 10 over in DL. The heat tore a chunk out of some of the westbound lanes near the airport. Road crews had to redirect traffic over onto the shoulder of the highway. Those lanes have been fixed and are expected to be reopened sometime today.
Am I jumping over? Which one's?
The roads in Grand Forks also buckled, which is
I was
kind
like,
of a
you're
big
talking
story.
about buckling, and I was like, did he cover all of the buckling? Okay, so no, roads in Grand Forks are also buckling because of the heat, which I thought was funny every time Lydia would say, I feel like I'm buckling under the heat too. I think that we can all relate.
Yeah,
but,
seriously.
So heads up, University Drive overpass in Grand Forks buckled in the heat as well. Right now, that stretch of road going over I-29 is closed. Both sides of the bridge closed. Other roads in town also buckled, including South Washington, which of course is a very busy stretch, and also Belmont Road. So, I mean, we just named like a bunch, but it's still hot, so you don't know. There could be more buckling today in the heat too, so just be aware.
The city of Fargo is planning to spend $40,000 to study noise downtown. It comes roughly a year after the city declared noise a primary concern in that area. One street musician says he was actually ticketed more than 100 times by Fargo police for performing late at night on the sidewalks. Now the city commission is agreeing to spend $40 grand on a consulting firm to carry out a noise and vibration study in the coming months. The city administrator says this will bring invaluable data to change noise ordinances and think about new regulations.
Okay, today, just in time. Well, this is really the official kickoff, I think, to all those Fargo kids who had to go to school later in the week. But Fargo's opening its pools today, 4 locations. Davies Recreational Pool, which is way far south, 25th Street, but way far south, Fargo, is opening today. I call it the bucket pool if you've been there, and your kids will love it. Roger G. Gress Northside Pool, Southwest Recreational Pool, and Madison Pool and Splash Pad also opening up. They're all opening at 1 this afternoon. It's really already hot out there, but it'll be perfect by 1 o'clock. Davies North and South will all be open from 1 to 5, and then 6 to 8 Monday through Friday, and 1 to 5 on the weekends. Madison open every day from 1 to 5, and you can go to their websites to check out the prices. But everybody, is, kids and adults, about under $5.
Yeah, it'll feel nice to jump into a pool today.
Yes, definitely.
All right, big national story this morning. Investigators are working at the site of a plane crash in Virginia. They've confirmed there were 4 people on board, no survivors, unfortunately. It caused a scare in the Washington, D.C. area yesterday when the pilot became unresponsive, possibly flew over restricted airspace in Washington, D.C. This prompted U.S. fighter jets. They were scrambled, given clearance to travel at supersonic speeds to try and catch up with the plane while it was still in the air. That sound was very noticeable. We had a lot of video this morning where people were doing seemingly random things, and all of a sudden a huge boom. It sounded like really loud thunder, louder than thunder. It was kind of wild to watch. But anyway, those jets used flares to try and get the pilot's attention. They could not. It sounded like he was passed out at the wheel of the plane, essentially. The Federal Aviation Administration says the private plane left from Tennessee. It was supposed to go to Long Island, New York, but suddenly changed directions. So, of course, we'll continue to follow that story as the investigation unfolds.
Hot Mike with Dom Izzo coming up this morning from 9 to 11 on WDAY Extra, also on Inforum.com. Today, he's going to be talking about West Fargo Cheyenne completing a 3-peat on the baseball diamonds, sending its head coach off on a winning note. Ryan Bodell will join the show to talk about the ultimate walk-off. Plus, there's still a Summit League team alive, how Oral Roberts has become one of the best baseball teams in the country. Join Dom on Hot Mike this morning from 9 to 11.
All right, and don't forget, for 99 cents a month for your first 3 months, you could get an all-access pass to inform.com. You can get all sorts of great content there, including sports, local news, weather, all that kind of stuff. So take advantage of that. Just go to inform.com/subscribe to get that deal.
And remember, we'll be back with our next newscast at 11 this morning, and then this afternoon, 4, 5, 6, 9, and 10, and back tomorrow morning. First news every weekday morning from 5 to 7. Have a great day.
Bye.